This news program is proudly brought to you by Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits and Now Biscuits.
Affected business receives payment. Supreme Court hearing on VONC Meta. And female tops Aviation College. A very good evening. This is National EMTV News. I'm Grace Papiali. Thank you for joining us. The Supreme Court has given the opposition 14 days to serve their statement in response to the substantive case. They will return on the 19th of July 2024. This is in regards to the motion of no confidence matter.
Leaders from the opposition this morning attended the scheduled case hearing of the vote of no confidence at the Supreme Court House before Justice Derek Adson this morning. Justice Adson said he would meet the parties halfway and ordered that the interveners have until 11 July to file and serve their response. Order 14, Rule 25 of the rules gives the interveners 14 days to serve their statements in response to the substantive case. Meanwhile, Prime Minister James Morobe said it was within the rights of the opposition to take this course of action, just as Parliament is within its rights to defend its processes and procedures. He said that all members of Parliament are elected by the people and have every right to scrutinize the executive government and oppose it if they feel they have an issue. He notes the upcoming 50th independence anniversary, where citizens, no matter their political affiliations, should be proud of the democratic processes taking place. These include the judiciary role and the formation of governments, which takes place on the floor of Parliament. He appealed to Papua New Guineans, and in particular his supporters and Pangu Party supporters, to refrain from personalizing the matter when expressing themselves in the media, including social media and in person. He said the Pangu Party stands for a united Papua New Guinea. Samantha Solomon, National EMTV News.
Shadow Minister for Treasury James Nomane calls on Prime Minister James Marape's scorecard on his economic achievements as a sham. Nomane outlines the economic constraints currently faced by ordinary citizens and the country as a whole. According to the World Bank's April 2024 forecast, PNG is projected to expand by 4.8% in 2024 compared to 2.7% in 2023. However, most Papua New Guineans claim that the cost of living has exceeded high inflation and high unemployment rate still remains. Nomane said it is important for the country to understand the economic forecast that Prime Minister James Marape elaborated on in the previous Parliament sittings.
If we focus on this grand pronouncement that by 2027, the country will have a surplus budget. This means that currently, according to the MyFO 2024 released by the Treasury Department, the country has a national debt of 57 billion. Every year, we are paying interest on this national debt of 2.5 billion kina. So from 2024 to 2027, you expect to continue to pay this interest, which is 2.5 billion times the 3 years, 7.5 billion kina, and then also repay the principal of 57 billion kina, which takes up the total repayment to 64.5 billion kina. How on earth does Marape plan to repay 64.5 billion kina national debt and interest, principal and interest?
Nomane highlights the factors affecting the economy.
The biggest thing that's affecting the economy right now is the fact that we haven't given independence to the central bank.
He said reappointed Treasurer Ian Lingstucky has to explain the current economic status.
As the Treasurer, when's Lingstucky going to come in front of the people of Papua New Guinea and tell us what your economic recovery plan is? What's your plan for the cost of living crisis that the country is currently experiencing? What's your plan for unemployment? What's your plan for the youth bulge? What's your plan for the chronic forex shortages that are impeding business purchases from suppliers overseas? What's your plan for all these issues that are having a compound effect and that will lead us towards debt distress and economic collapse? When the price of goods and services goes up, Papua New Guineans are feeling the pinch. When there's no job opportunity for young men and women, what's the point of going to school and getting a degree? What's the point of parents struggling to pay for the school fees? This will continue to create serious socio-economic issues.
Meanwhile, attempts were made unsuccessful to have Treasurer Stucky to give his statement on the direction of the economy. Chief Secretary Ivan Pomaleu made a check presentation to the affected business premises at Gerehu today. So far, a total of 25 million kina was presented to the business houses that were affected on Black Wednesday by the national government.
About 7 checks were presented by Chief Secretary to the affected businesses at Gerehu premises this morning. Bismillah Holdings Limited receives a 9,233,800 kina check. Papindo Trading receives 978,000 kina. Desbest Enterprise Limited receives 1,875,000 kina. Desbest On Wages Support receives 474,000 kina. Pipon Holdings Limited receives 222,520 kina. Tango Limited receives 1,926,000 kina, and Pacific Best Solution receives 90,000 kina. Today's payment was for both wages support and debris clean-up and removal towards the businesses affected from the events on the 10th January this year, says the Chief Secretary.
The next phase of this program is to actually support them to clean up and prepare their areas for reconstruction. There have been some companies, and we do acknowledge them, who have said that we will do our best to rebuild, but we only need for government to make sure that any regulatory approvals are given on time and that we place them on a fast-track lane for those requisite approvals.
The Chief Secretary said government support is potentially limited compared to the requirements from the businesses affected.
We're working off an initial 50 million that was released, not by 300 million, 270 million, which was approved for business support by government. We have used about half of it, 25 million, for both salaries and so today.
General Manager for Bismillah Holdings Limited thanked the government for the support.
By incorporating all the latest technological advancement that we have now in our community, we aim to reserve the community with exceptional value.
Meanwhile, the financial controller of Papindo Group of Companies confirmed that the store will reopen in September or October this year, even the government's support does not meet their requirements. Esther Gane, National EMTV News.
Census counting in Morobe province has officially commenced today. Member for Ley and Deputy Prime Minister John Rosso was the first to be counted, marking the official start of the counting process for the province.
Deputy Prime Minister John Rosso said the national census is important to get a critical population data. Rosso called on everyone in Ley City and Morobe province to participate and cooperate with the census officers to get counted. Census Coordinator for Urban Morobe, Mr. Waina Orama, said once all the leaders are counted, they will proceed to the old district. Mr. Orama said census in the province was delayed, however commenced today and will complete it in 2 weeks. Samantha Solomon, National EMTV News.
The 4-day Papua New Guinea Resource Week commenced today, featuring a variety of business houses showcasing their services and products.
Today marks the beginning of the highly anticipated Papua New Guinea Resource Week, set against the backdrop of significant developments in the nation's resource sector. The event, which promises to be a pivotal gathering for industry leaders and stakeholders alike, commenced this morning with the official registration process here at the University of Papua New Guinea. The expected attendance is over 800 attendees from government, policymakers, business houses and landowner companies, as well as large representation of landowner groups from project areas.
The event aims to unite all stakeholders in PNG through a series of activities. It was hosted by PNG Chamber of Resource and Energy, the second PNG National Community Affairs and National Content Conference and Expo is scheduled from July 1st to 3rd. A PNG Resources Career Fair will take place on July 3rd and 4th. The inaugural PNG Resource Summit is slated for July 4th. The Resources Summit dinner will be hosted on the evening of July 4th. Ramunico operates a nickel and cobalt mining project in Medang with a projected lifespan of 20 years. A representative, Dorothy Mark, provided insights into the mine during the event.
We have the CDF program. CDF stands for the Community Development Fund. So in the Community Development Fund, our Community Affairs Department assists the communities within the footprints of the mine to agriculture programs, school fee assistance programs, the medical assistance program that the company assists the communities, the impact area communities of the mine.
Also in attendance was Head Hunters.
JobSeek is an online job board. We advertise job vacancies for companies and also assist job seekers to register their CVs with us. Headhunters is a recruitment company. We do executive recruitment both here and in Australia. We have 140 job seekers that are registered with us and over 5,000 employers registered.
James Guken, National EMTV News.
National EMTV News continues after the break. Stay with us.
Start your day the smart way with the new Smart Start Breakfast Biscuit. Whether you are busy or on a budget, Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits gives you a healthy and affordable breakfast to set you up for school or play. Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits are fortified with essential vitamins for body or brain health. They contain vitamin A for healthy growth and development, vitamin B6 for healthy metabolism, immune system and brain development, and vitamin B12 for nerve and cell health. Proudly made by Paradise Foods.
Hi, I'm Chef Jules Henao, and this is where my true inspiration for cooking started. Like most of us, I learned to cook from my mum. Nothing beats simple recipes where fresh local produce is at the heart, especially when it's a home-cooked meal, prepared and shared with the ones you love. And in PNG, no meal is complete without rice. And my choice is always True Guy. True Guy, true inspiration through generations.
Remember the joy of playing with your toys as a child? At Morning Plus, we believe that every small business deserves a chance to build and grow. That's why we offer asset financing.
Chance to building some
Ema halivim wari belong you.
Brush to the beat with Colgate for healthy teeth. Brush twice a day for 2 minutes, that's all you need. Brush to the Colgate beat. Come on now everybody, join in on the fun for long-lasting healthy teeth. 2 minutes of brushing twice a day, bright smiles, bright futures with Colgate. Brush to the Colgate beat. Come on now everybody, join in on the fun for long-lasting healthy teeth.
At Telecom, we're boosting our network. Households will enjoy better connections, and business will profit from new towers and a more secure network. It feels good to be building a faster, stronger network for PNG.
Businesses and families have assets that are important to them, and what insurance does is it provides protection for those assets. So that if something unforeseen, something untoward happens, then there's a provision being made to replace those assets. Capital's proudly a PNG company. We're headquartered in Port Moresby. Some of the international players have withdrawn from the market in PNG.
That's on tonight.
You're watching National EMTV News. The Department of Finance will now coordinate the negotiations of an investment protection and promotion agreement, double taxation agreement, a services agreement, and a comprehensive economic partnership agreement with the government of the United Arab Emirates. This follows an approval by National Executive Council recently. This will allow for trade and economic relations between Papua New Guinea and the United Arab Emirates. Minister for International Trade and Investment Richard Maru said the United Arab Emirates already have comprehensive economic partnership agreements with other countries like the Philippines and Malaysia. Same will apply for PNG soon.
The government has directed the Foreign Affairs Department is to provide the leadership, call the other agencies together. In the case of the double tax treaty, the lead agency is IRC. Investment protection agreement, it's IPA. And service agreement is the transport department. So for me, they are really slack. They need to get their act together and get on with negotiating these agreements. And I've given a commitment to the Trade Minister of UAE that we will get this agreement done before the end of the year.
Maru said the UAE is an economic leader in the Arab countries, and PNG's exports to the UAE market will be a stepping stone as UAE offers an access point to the global markets and has effective supply and value chain networks.
It's over 700 billion US a year. In terms of GDP, what about us? It's sitting around 20. Compared to them, we are dropping the ocean. They want to come and invest here. They even want the airlines to come through India and go to New Zealand. But we are not moving in. We are not aggressive and following up and making sure the agreements are done and signed off. The country is too wealthy. They are investing now in Africa and all these other countries when they could be investing in our oil, in our gas. We are looking for investors.
Secretary for the Department of International Trade and Investment, Jessica Warakai Manua, echoed the statements of Minister Maru.
There is a bigger scope kind of arrangement or agreement that we intend to sign with them. That will take some time, but in terms of facilitating, or you say we can say prerequisite, in order for us to commence discussion, are those in the IPPA and SF's agreement, and those are already in the draft form. All we now have to do is to get help Foreign Affairs to get through them, get all key agencies, in this case IPA, Department of Transport, and Internal Revenue Commission to work with us and to complete that. So
these agreements are expected to conclude by the end of this year. For the first time since being approved in 1981 by Parliament, the Foreign Policy White Paper was presented to the Minister for Foreign Affairs, Justin Tchenko, today by the Eminent Peasants Group.
The Foreign Policy White Paper was one of the first initiatives under the direction of Prime Minister James Morobe when he first took office as the Prime Minister. The policy was prepared and presented by the Eminent Persons Group that comprises of prominent senior citizens of Papua New Guinea. The policy covers Foreign Policy Report Volume 1, Foreign Policy Report Volume 2, Foreign Policy White Paper and the Foreign Affairs Act.
The most important thing is for us now is to get the National Executive Council, led by the Chairman, our Prime Minister of Papua New Guinea, to endorse it for further to move to National Parliament for debate and for ratification. I'm looking forward to having this all completed. Once you give it to me today, it will be my job as your Foreign Minister, with my Secretary, to do the last part of the implementation, to ensure that it's done without fear or favour and taken in consideration all your hard work and effort that you've put into this Foreign Policy White Paper.
The chairman of the Eminent Persons Group said 3 documents, Foreign Policy Report Volume 1, Foreign Policy Report Volume 2, and Foreign Policy White Paper is a set of a journey of policy making.
It's a trilogy of a journey describing PNG's tracking since independence to now and what we see coming for the future as far as international relations and how we craft PNG's foreign policy to respond. To respond not to both assess the risks and respond accordingly and to benefit from the opportunities of what international geopolitics and geoeconomics and security offer in our current times and what we face.
The chairman further explained the essence of these documents.
The essence of what we come up with PNG's strategic approach to foreign policy and foreign relations is fulcrum-based, pivoting with levers, as in motto, the house of the 4 winds.
Minister Tchenko revealed that the Foreign Affairs Ministry will now for the first time have its own act. This is through the initiative of the Eminent Persons Group. The document is set to be presented to the Parliament and the State Solicitor for verifications. Malinta Yopolo, National EMTV News.
Recently, an official delegation from Papua New Guinea traveled to Vienna, Austria and Lithuania to update the international community on Papua New Guinea's progress in combating corruption.
With the support of the European Union-funded Preventing and Countering Corruption in Papua New Guinea, or PNG Anti-Corruption Project, which is jointly implemented by the UNDP and UNODC, the delegation first traveled to the United Nations in Vienna between 10th to 14th of June 2024. The delegation attended meetings of the UN Convention Against Corruption, or UNCAC Implementation Review Group and Working Group on Asset Recovery to contribute to efforts to enhance international cooperation against corruption. The delegation then continued its mission to Vilnius, where they attended the 21st International Anti-Corruption Conference 2024 from 18 to 21 June 2024. Government of Papua New Guinea are demonstrating their commitment to these ends through resource mobilization and fostering strategic partnership around the globe. Dr. Eric Kwa, Secretary for the Department of Justice and Attorney General and the head of the delegation, in his address to the Implementation Review Group in Vienna, expressed his gratitude to the European Union, UNDP, UNODC and other development partners for their continued technical support to the government and non-state actors in enhancing integrity and transparency in the public sector. Tamara Agavi, National EMTV News.
Auto thefts in the nation's capital have increased recently. This was confirmed by the National Capital District Metropolitan Superintendent Silva Sika today.
The MATSUP confirmed that more than 3 stolen motor vehicle cases have been reported weekly. He said most of the reported stolen vehicles have been recovered with the good local knowledge of the police officers. The MATSUP said he is pleased with the NCDC reservist units who have recovered 2 vehicles last week at 2 different locations in the city. One of the vehicle was recovered at Siraka while the other was recovered at Anwabada. Other police units had also recovered 2 taxis. He said most of the vehicles that were reportedly stolen were mostly taxis and small vehicles driven around the city during night time. The MATSUP urges the public moving in vehicles and those that have witnessed such crime to quickly report to the police with accurate information. Malinta Yopolo, National EMTV News.
Yangoru Station in East Sepik Province now has a new police station with 35 new mobile squad to address the ongoing law and order issues in the Yangoru South District. This was announced by Open member Richard Maru.
The increasing law and order issue in Yangoru is one of the priority areas, says the Open member.
So this year, steam na drug must finish. Raping must finish. Iron Man must finish. I'm telling all of you. No one will man back and play up law, investors because I will make sure you don't survive. I will deal with you.
People from Yangoru were urged to refrain from taking drug and alcohol.
This nonsense plus steam na drug na. This time to my Lord, Mama Susan, our communist people, including our eyes, they're very novel people. You mean saying Yangoru, you must stop him nonsense. How about you be talking me leading district? You got 7 months, 7 Mary. Now where do you got same heavy here?
Minister Maru also urged them to take care of the new facilities in place.
Mobile police staff, and that suppose you look like Yangoru station or outside the police station, you look in Nubla, district police station is going up. And we got office plus CID, prosecutor, sexual crime, over the league section by staff inside. I've already ordered 3 Nubla police car, if you don't know. Now, people at the meeting last previous week, people agree, but people put him 5 Nubla police houses door officer inside Long Station.
He said the current police station will be upgraded and handing it over to the village court mediation to take control of it. Esther Gane, National EMTV News.
A notorious figure among the youth named Eugene Pakalais from Milne Bay Province voluntarily surrendered to the authorities. This move marks a pivotal step in the region's ongoing efforts to curb youth involvement in criminal activities and restore peace and order.
That took place in a careful manner, with Eugene choosing to present himself to Governor Gordon Wesley. In a gesture of trust and responsibility, Governor Wesley handed Eugene over to the provincial police commander, ensuring that the justice system would take its due course without interference from law enforcement officers. This decision underscores the governor's commitment to ensuring that the justice is served fairly and that the police refrain from extrajudicial actions. The PPC instructed Eugene to make a promise to God, the local authorities, the government's office, and the PPC's office to fully commit to change. The province looks forward to more youths coming forward and surrendering. The hope is that Eugene's action will inspire others to choose a path of legal and productive engagement. Esther Gane, National EMTV News.
And now looking at the Nest Fund market report, the kina closed unchanged at $0.2600 US in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, your kina was buying $0.2525 US, 0.3752 Australian dollars, 0.2277 euro, 40.37 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, gold is trading lower, coffee closed higher, cocoa closed higher, copra closed higher, crude oil closed lower, copper closed lower. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed lower, the ASX 200 is trading lower, the All Ordinaries is trading lower. National EMTV News continues after the break. Stay with us.
Dear son, you ask me how I live such a good life. Yes, I've had some good luck, like the day I met your mother. But it wasn't always that way. I've made some good choices too, like working hard and keeping my super with NASFAN. They looked after it for me, which meant I could concentrate on looking after my family. Living each day, knowing that when the time came, I'd be ready for tomorrow. Love, Dad.
At Telecom, we're boosting our network. Households will enjoy better connections. Communities will get faster speeds and wider coverage. And business will profit from new towers and a more secure network. Plus, everyone will benefit from onshore storage that brings browsing home. It's all part of our ongoing billion kina nationwide investment. It feels good to be building a faster, stronger network for PNG.
Hi, I'm Chef Jules Henao, and this is where my true inspiration for cooking started. Like most of us, I learned to cook from my mum. Nothing beats simple recipes where fresh local produce is at the heart, especially when it's a home-cooked meal, prepared and shared with the ones you love. And in PNG, no meal is complete without rice. And my choice is always True Guy. True Guy, true inspiration through generations.
The Central Music Association and EMTV presents for the first time on television the Central Music Festival 2024. A 3-day festival hosted by Rigo District at the Kwikila Station, featuring performances from the renowned music legends of the Central Province. Experience the types of music the Central Province has to offer, from traditional to contemporary, and secular to gospel. To sing along to the local string bands and the Peroveta. So stay tuned to watch the Central Music Festival. Day 1 next Thursday, 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. Day 2 on Friday, 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. And Day 3 on Sunday, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Central Regana, Hapoa, on your number 1 to watch, EMTV.
You're watching National EMTV News. Bibiana Togigolu has topped the class at a Port Moresby Aviation College. It was a dream come true for the 25-year-old.
In a male-dominated environment, Golu came out as the top student in her class. During today's graduation, she was awarded 2 different academic awards. One was Outstanding Student Award and the other was Most Outstanding Student Award for Academic Performance. She graduated with a diploma in Aviation Electronics Engineering. Golu highlighted more on her education journey.
I started in 2021 at Architect Aviation College. I graduated with a diploma in Aviation Electronics Engineering. Definitely being a female in a male-dominated industry, it's not easy. That's one thing for sure. You face a lot of challenges. You come across males that are very competitive as well. But if you're persistent and you are passionate about what you want to do, don't let gender kind of scare you.
Golu thanked her parents for the support.
It's because of these two, my dad and my mom. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be here today. They've definitely come a long way supporting me. There were times when I thought I wasn't deserving of it, but hopefully today paid off.
A total of 19 students graduated in aircraft maintenance engineering and electronics engineering. Of the 19, 4 were females. The U.S. Ambassador Anne Ariel explained the importance of aviation industry in PNG.
Aviation serves as both a lifeline of Papua New Guinea and a global connector, bridging communities from remote provinces to the busiest cities to distant corners of the world.
The Business Development Manager for Architect College, Ramon Garey, elaborated on which fields these students have completed.
February and now July we have a second group. So the February group were the batch 2020 who joined us in batch 2020. And this July group, these are the batch 2021 who all of them have completed their requirements to get their diploma in aircraft maintenance engineering and diploma in aviation electronics engineering. So today, here in APEC House, we got about 19 of them who successfully completed their programs.
This was the college's second graduation since it was established in 2020. Samantha Solomon, National EMTV News.
The Morobe provincial government reappointed its chief of staff at the Tutumang House in Morobe province recently.
In an official handover takeover ceremony yesterday at the Tutumang House, Morobe Provincial Governor Luther Wenge appointed the new Chief of Staff to his office, including the Deputy Chief of Staff and Clerk.
Very important clerk of the Assembly, very key people who start implementing policy. Because anything happen, changes must come up. It happened so smoothly today. So, thank you, na press by Tokem country. What we promised in the forum last week, you promise, you promise nothing. It happens today.
Mr. Gilling Jeremiah, who is also the protocol officer, was appointed new Chief of Staff to the office of the Governor, taking over from Mr. Emmanuel Isaac. Governor Wenge also appointed Mr. Philip Boge as Deputy Chief of Staff and Mr. Kau Kasup as the new clerk. These appointments are to be effective as of the official signing of documents yesterday. Witnessing the ceremony was Provincial Administrator Mr. Max Bruton, including representatives from the provincial government, members of the press and public. Jessica Nui, National EMTV News, Leh.
And now moving to overseas news, lupus treatment among new drugs listed, 9 out of 10 women suffer from this autoimmune disease.
Lupus, or SLE, is an autoimmune disease that affects around 1 in 1,300 Australians. And researchers here at the Monash University labs are always investigating new ways of being able to treat this condition for those who don't respond to conventional therapies. And I'm joined now by Professor Eric Morand, who is the head of rheumatology at Monash Health and also led the global final stage trial of this new drug. Professor, just how important is it to have this drug listed on the PBS?
It's really hard to overstate how important this is. We haven't had any novel therapy approved for lupus for 60 years. It's very common in women. It's also much more common in First Nations Australians and in Asian Australians. It can affect any organ of the body and can be very tricky to diagnose, recognise and treat. And even though some patients do respond to what we've got, many do not. So the availability of this drug for the first time is really a very big deal.
And lupus can even lead to organ damage, can't it? And also a reduced life expectancy. So how exactly does this drug work?
This drug works by blocking a protein called interferon, which is very important in causing the inflammation of lupus. By blocking that protein completely, all the effects of that protein on inflammation are gone, and so patients stand to benefit across all the symptoms that affect them.
This is incredibly important for the recognition of this condition. We know that if you are a woman, you are much more likely to have an autoimmune disease generally.
And one woman who looks after cancer patients as an oncology nurse but has the debilitating condition herself is Sandra Jacobs. Sandra, you were diagnosed quite late, but it's been quite a difficult journey for you, hasn't it?
It certainly has. At the time of my diagnosis, I was actually looking after a patient who was in her mid-40s with multiple organ failure. And so to get a diagnosis of lupus at that time was quite upsetting. It was quite emotional for me because all I could see myself was that person in my 40s. Sorry. I've been always looking for something different because you're on different medications. There's obviously problems with side effects of medications that you have to deal with, and you're just hoping that there will be that one drug.
This drug would normally cost around $1,500 a month, but now on the PBS it's only going to be about $36 a month or $7.70 if you're a concession card holder. How important is that for women and patients like yourself, especially during this cost of living crisis?
I think it's extremely important. People are struggling to make ends meet, and if something as important as your health could cost less, I think that's a huge benefit.
Patients are so excited to have hope. We've got so many patients that we care for, and it's been hard to be optimistic with them, and now at last we've got something to offer.
Prime Minister Sunak defends Conservatives as UK prepares to go to the polls.
Only a few more days of encounters like this. Rishi Sunak visiting a bakery in North London this afternoon.
Have you had a nice weekend?
With the election now around the corner, today he maintained he would still be Prime Minister on Friday and defended his party's record when challenged over whether the country was better now than when the Conservatives took charge.
We had a once-in-a-century pandemic followed by a war in Ukraine that drove up everyone's bills, and of course that's been difficult for everybody. But we've also made progress in tackling those things. Inflation back to normal, the economy growing again, wages rising, energy bills set to fall again just next week, and now we're able to start cutting people's taxes to give them financial security.
Labour took a break from big campaign events today, but are mindful of the fact they need their huge lead in the polls to actually translate into votes.
I'm proud of the campaign that we've run. I think we've put forward real and meaningful change and done it with an eye on responsibility because of the legacy that we're going to get after 14 years of the Tories. But change will only come if people vote for it on Thursday.
Winning back seats in Scotland is one of Labour's tasks next week. The SNP accused both main parties of not being honest with voters about what lies ahead.
There is that conspiracy of silence. There's £18 billion worth of public sector cuts which are agreed by both the Labour Party and the Conservative Party. That's a choice that they are making at this election. We, of course, oppose that. We believe that there should be investment in our public services, investment in our NHS, and we need to get away from this race to the bottom on austerity that exists in Westminster.
The Liberal Democrat leader, Sir Ed Davey, is ending his campaign as it began, with stunts that make a splash, so he gets the chance to talk about what his party's MPs would argue for if more of them are returned to Parliament.
That'll be a fair deal on the NHS and care, it'll be a fair deal on cost of living, it'll be a fair deal on the environment and many other issues. So that manifesto, if people vote Liberal Democrat, will be our marching orders to deal with any government and any bill and any policy that comes forward.
At a Reform UK rally in Birmingham, its leader Nigel Farage battered away concerns about what he described as a few bad apples in and around his party. He thinks the election result is already decided and insists Reform will have a role to play.
For democracy to function, there has to be a concerted voice of opposition, challenge. The Conservatives can't do that because they'll be in opposition, but not the opposition, because they're so divided. But also, the point about Reform UK is it's not just about a voice in Parliament, it's a voice in the country.
A coronial inquest is set to start today in the killing of an Indigenous woman who was shot dead by a police constable in West Australia. Constable Brent Windon was acquitted by a Supreme Court jury in 2021.
It's almost 5 years since Yamatji woman JC was fatally shot on a suburban street here in Geraldton, about 400 kilometres north of Perth. The 29-year-old was carrying a knife and a pair of scissors when she was shot by Constable Brent Windham following a 000 call from a member of the public. The police officer was charged with her murder, the first such charge in WA in almost 100 years. In 2021, a Supreme Court jury found him not guilty of both murder and the lesser charge of manslaughter. The 2-week coronial inquest into JC's death will be held first here in Geraldton before moving to Perth and will examine what led to the shooting. In the weeks before her death, JC was suffering poor mental health after being released from prison. Constable Windham was one of 8 police officers who responded, but the only one to draw his weapon. He said he feared JC was going to stab him when he fired at her. JC's foster mum, who's also raising JC's son, says she hopes the inquest will provide answers and some accountability from WA Police and the state government.
A new set of migration rules will be introduced today as part of the Australian government's migration overhaul.
Well, there's 2 big changes happening today. First change affects temporary graduate visa applicants. The age limit for these typical visas will be reduced from 50 down to 35 years of age. The second change will be for temporary graduate visa holders and tourist visas onshore to end visa hopping here in Australia. They will not be allowed to apply for a student visa while onshore in Australia. In the government's words, this is to ensure migrants do not become permanently temporary here in Australia. Those who seek to stay in Australia should look for a visa to stay here permanently based on their qualifications and skills. This is to ensure that Australia is able to retain the skills that they need here in Australia. Over the last 12 to 24 months, there has been a large influx of migrants entering the country, and the government is looking to reduce that by half. We have already seen a reduction in temporary visas being granted here in Australia over the last 6 months. Permanent visas haven't really been affected. The government has acknowledged that migration is important for the country's growth and has shown commitment by introducing new frameworks and strategies to ensure we can manage migration at a more sustainable level. The government has a strong focus on employer-sponsored visas, so that is something that people can look forward to. Last year, they introduced the Aged Care Labour Agreement, allowing aged care providers to sponsor aged care workers. And later on this year, they will introduce the Skills and Demand Visa, where there will be 3 different streams focusing on specific sectors, such as aged care, healthcare, childcare, and even IT. And this is the first initiative to ensure Australia can address our labour shortages. The new migration strategy announced in December 2023 has already started, and initiatives have already been executed, allowing Australia to benefit from this.
National EMTV News continues after the break with Trukai Sport. Stay with us.
Accept the challenge. Choose PNG's favorite purified bottled water. True Wara, 100% PNG made.
Proudly bottled by Paradise Foods.
At Telecom, we're boosting our network. Households will enjoy better connections. Communities will get faster speeds and wider coverage. And business will profit from new towers and a more secure network. Plus, everyone will benefit from onshore storage that brings browsing home. It's all part of our ongoing billion kina nationwide investment. It feels good to be building a faster, stronger network for PNG.
At IPI Catering, we understand the intricacies of the environments in which we work, providing innovative, fresh and creative catering solutions. Our experience and commitment is a winning combination, delivering great food anywhere and anytime. IPI Catering, part of the IPI group of companies.
It's here. The Able Home and Office Mid-Year Nationwide Sale. Get up to 50% off on wide selections and save on popular items like computers, computer accessories, printing supplies, smartphones, small appliances, school supplies, and so much more. This is a limited time offer, so hurry. Go to your nearest stores now or call the numbers below the screen now for more details.
Number One Super wants our members to have the happiest retirement possible. Just an extra 10 kina a week could mean an extra 50,000 kina when you retire. This is known as a voluntary contribution. So call us to find out how to add a little extra to your super payments now to boost your super savings later.
Mamas want them Telecom's Good Plum mobile data plans. With 8 exclusive mobile data plans to choose from, select a plan that best suits your budget. You can purchase a plan for as low as 3 kina for 1 gigabyte of data valid for 24 hours. Or receive 130 gigabyte of data valid for 30 days for only 150 kina. Telecom, connecting you anywhere, anytime. Terms and conditions apply.
EMTV presents Vocal Fusion Season 11 2024, Episode 2, The Main Auditions. Airs this Sunday night at 7:30. Stay tuned to your number one to watch, EMTV.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. The Mount Hagen Wampna Eagles is still taking the lead in the PNG National Rugby League competition after round 12. The Eagles came out as winners against Gulf Isos at the John Amben Oval in Minj, Juaka Province.
In the first half, the score stood at 16-6. After Gulf Isos scored the first try for the second half, the Isos score went up to 14 and Eagles' score remained. The Eagles then broke the defense and put their first try for the second half, which brought their score up to 22. The full-time score was 22-28. Meanwhile, the Eagles' captain was suspended for 10 games, had reached his term of suspension, and was among the team. According to Eagles' Facebook page, their social media, the Rugby League competition has officially announced the resumption of Mr. Andrew. James Guken, Trukai Sports.
Trukai Sports continues after the break. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports.
Now more bundles. Subscribe to any of Telecom's more bundle plans, ranging from 3 kina to 75 kina to enjoy unlimited on-net calls, more SMS, more data with increased off-net minutes. Choose from 8 exclusive plans, packed with more value to experience seamless communication with your family and friends. Telecom, connecting you anywhere, anytime. Terms and conditions apply.
Experience a convenient and smarter way to do your banking with BSB Mobile Banking. You don't have to leave the office or your home to pay for bills. You can view your account balance, transfer funds, top up phone credits, or purchase Easy Pay units wherever you are. Visit your BSB branch today to register now for BSB Mobile Banking. BSB Mobile Banking, the smarter way to bank. BSB, our bank, our people.
Power energy drink. Feel the power.
At Telecom, we're boosting our network. Households will enjoy better connections, and business will profit from new towers and a more secure network. It feels good to be building a faster, stronger network for PNG.
Businesses and families have assets that are important to them, and what insurance does is it provides protection for those assets. So that if something unforeseen, something untoward happens, then there's a provision being made to replace those assets. Capital's proudly a PNG company. We're headquartered in Port Moresby. Some of the international players have withdrawn from the market in PNG.
That's on tonight.
Hi, I'm Chef Jules Henao, and this is where my true inspiration for cooking started. Like most of us, I learned to cook from my mum. Nothing beats simple recipes where fresh local produce is at the heart, especially when it's a home-cooked meal, prepared and shared with the ones you love. And in PNG, no meal is complete without rice. And my choice is always True Guy. True Guy, true inspiration through generations.
Welcome back to Trukai Sports. Moving to overseas sports. In the NRL, the Cowboys are back inside the top 8 after defeating the Penrith Panthers yesterday.
Both sides were missing key players due to Origin, but it gave opportunity to young players to show their worth. The Cowboys went a man down in the first half, but still managed 2 tries in that time, eventually winning 16-6. The Dragons, they're also back into the top 8 thanks to a strong showing against the Dolphins. The Dolphins weren't helped due to an injury to Jeremy Marshall-King and also Kurt Donahue being sin-binned. The final score there was 26-6.
And that ends Trukai Sports. The Moni Plus weather report is next. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports. Trukai Sports.
Hi, I'm Chef Jules Henao, and this is where my true inspiration for cooking started. Like most of us, I learned to cook from my mum. Nothing beats simple recipes where fresh local produce is at the heart, especially when it's a home-cooked meal, prepared and shared with the ones you love. And in PNG, no meal is complete without rice. And my choice is always True Guy. True Guy, true inspiration through generations.
Be on board this revolution. Introducing our new range of devices and giveaway frenzy. Buy a device and get a free boombox and enjoy 7 days of free streaming to MGEMS. But that's not all. You will also receive 5 gigabytes every month for the next 6 months. That's a whopping 30 gigabytes of data. Don't miss this extraordinary opportunity. Head to your nearest telecom retail outlet to grab one today. Terms and conditions apply.
Dear son, you ask me how I live such a good life. Yes, I've had some good luck, like the day I met your mother. But it wasn't always that way. I've made some good choices too, like working hard and keeping my super with NASFAN. They looked after it for me, which meant I could concentrate on looking after my family. Living each day, knowing that when the time came, I'd be ready for tomorrow. Love, Dad.
Hi, with the help of Palmolive Naturals shampoo and conditioner, with these 3 quick and easy tips, I'm going to show you that more natural, beautiful hair is achievable. Step 1, massage your scalp during washing with shampoo. Step 2, apply conditioner to the tips of your hair. Step 3, gently towel dry your hair. There you have it. For natural, beautiful hair, use Palmolive Naturals shampoo and conditioner. Have a great hair day.
More than the life we've known, there is more to what the future holds. You be holy, man, no walk one time. Oh, 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 oh. We dare to be living incredible things. Oh, 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 oh. With money plus we're ready to go.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by MoneyPlus, with you always.
Now we take a look at the weather report for the next 24 hours. In the southern region, Port Moresby City, partly cloudy with few showers and drizzles and possible thunderstorms. Popondetta, mostly cloudy with some rain showers and possible thunderstorms. In the Momasa region, Lace City, some rain showers and possible thunderstorms. Vanimo, mostly cloudy with some showers. In the New Guinea Islands region, Lorengau, few rain showers. Buka, cloudy periods with few showers. In the Highlands region, Mount Hagen City, partly cloudy with brief showers. Mendi, Tari and Wabeg, partly cloudy with some showers.
The weather update was proudly brought to you by MoneyPlus, with you always.
And that wraps up the news, sports and weather for Monday, the 1st of July, 2024. From all of us here, pleasant viewing. Good night.
This news program was proudly brought to you